Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn with Jason. Today we've got Nathaniel on the show. How you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm good. And yourself?
I am doing well. I'm super excited to have you on here. We're trying something that I'm sure to you feels like business as usual, but to me feels very ambitious. We're going to build live video chat using Twilio,
Cool.
right? So yeah, I'm super excited here. Can you actually? All right. So do you want to just give us some background in you? Like, who are you? How did you get to Twilio? What are you all about?
Cool. So I'm a developer evangelist at Twilio, and I've only been at Twilio for 2 months now, so I'm relatively new. But I got involved with Twilio way back at uni when someone came over to my university event, and it was Phil Nash actually, another developer evangelist,
Okay.
and it was amazing watching this guy sort of talk about code and at the same time have so much charisma and teach. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. Skip 3, 4 years later, worked in tech in the startup and actually worked using Twilio. I used Twilio video actually.
Mm,
And skip fast forward to today, I am now a developer evangelist at Twilio.
awesome. Very cool. And I love that too. Like I was kind of the same way. I was doing the just engineering, and then I saw these people who were like, for me, it was Chris Coyer, and kind of that cohort of developers who were just doing amazing things and writing about it and sharing their stories. And so seeing like, wow, I was like, man, I could be a teacher and still do this stuff, and
Exactly.
long winding road to get here. But yeah, very very cool. Okay, so Twilio then. So I feel like the last time that I worked with Twilio was actually quite a while ago, and
Okay.
at the time, I went to a Twilio con where they announced MMS support. So like you could text
Okay.
message someone a photo, and that was
Yeah.
the last time that I really earnestly worked with Twilio. So I feel like a whole lot
That's a
has
while
happened.
ago. Like, so we
Yeah.
just wrapped up Signal, which was it used to be TwilioCon, but now it's Signal. And the number of amazing announcements that came out, it was I was even I who knew that they were all coming was still blown away. And the demos as well. So I was lucky that my team were working on the demos
Yeah.
at the keynote when they'd released them. And there was like you should check out the recap. It's on the like Twilio website and you can watch the demos and the keynotes of all the new products that they do. They're really exciting.
Awesome. Yeah. And so that's just right here. We can go watch
Oh,
these. Yeah. So that's awesome. So today we're not actually dealing with. I always thought of Twilio as like a phone like SMS, voice, MMS, but it turns out from what I've been led to believe that it does so much more than that. And so today we're not going to do anything with phones, or maybe we will if we have time, but probably not. And instead we're going to do like video chat, right? Okay. So if I want to do that, how do I start?
So the first thing we're doing it with Gatsby, right?
Yes.
So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to npm install Twilio
All right.
after we set
So
up our Gatsby.
yeah, let me set up a new Gatsby site. I'll set it up here, and we will use. I'm actually just going to use the default starter. That'll give us kind of a simple blog, some styles, so that we don't have to set that up ourselves.
Cool.
And this, I hope. We got a lot of folks in the chat today. We've got the Twilio official accounts in the chat. We've got Ben and Tony. Tony just subscribed, which I appreciate.
iPhone.
All sorts of good. Oh, Lori's here. Yeah, it's a good day. Um, and while we're waiting for this, Sharp, always my favorite thing to watch install. Okay. Thank you, Ben.
I love that music that comes up. That is like the prototypical lift music right there.
It
Like,
it's really good. I found it as part of a sound pack on YouTube that was like royalty free Creative Commons music. So I always post the credits in the YouTube videos, but it's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have this. I can do yarn add Twilio.
Cool.
All right. And so now,
And the one thing you would also need to add is Twilio dash video.
okay, so we're going to yarn add Twilio dash video. And
Cool. You need
here,
those two.
okay, so we've got both of those. And if we take a look into our, oh, where to go? Here. If we take a look into our code, we have just kind of a fairly basic setup. It's set up with a handful of things. So like this is for the progressive web apps. We've got the web manifest and the offline plugin for a service worker, Gatsby image so that if we need to, we can lazy load things, React Helmet for SEO, Sharp for image processing, file system so that we can load images from local files. And now down here, we've got Twilio and Twilio video. So here, I believe the way this is set up is, yeah, this is a pretty straightforward site. It's just set up to show, like, here's your basic homepage, links to a second page. So I think what we are going to do is, let's see, we want to show a video. I mean, actually, maybe I should ask you this question.
So what? So you don't. So here's the cool thing. So you don't exactly need to set up all of those video things.
Okay.
We will need to do some CSS to handle like when the video tag element gets put into our web page. But to get started, the first thing we need to do is sort of introduce the concept of video rooms. So the way Twilio video works is people can create rooms, and to get into this room, you need like a key. So it's sort of locked to keep it private, and that key is an access token. So what you will do is you're going to need to create a function that can fetch a key.
Okay.
Right now, since we're going to go serverless, we can use Twilio functions to do that. So Twilio functions, we can set up a Twilio function that will give an access token from a URL. So we can grab an access token to a key and then use it to open rooms. If that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay. And now I would get that key. So I probably need to sign up for a Twilio account, right?
So yeah,
All right.
101, sign up.
Okay, so we're going to set up a Twilio account. I'm going to get a password. Let's reach through. Okay. I put my fingerprint thing way too far away. All right, so I'm going to generate a password. Oh, no, you're going to show it? All right, I'm going to generate a password off screen. And then I'm going to paste that in here. Start my free trial. Okay, and it has sent an email to where?
Make sure you're human.
I am a human. This is
I
not the right
mean,
email, bro.
I think we should ask in the comments, do you think that Jason's a human? Like, I mean, sometimes you catch me with that voice and sounds a tiny bit robotic.
All right, so I have verified my email. At least I think I have. Let's bring this over here. I'm going to paste this in. Okay. No, where was... Uh-oh. Now we've got problems because I think I generated that password and forgot it. August 12th, that's today.
We're in.
No, I did
Oh,
it.
wait, what?
I already did it. Why are you doing this again? Okay. What does that mean?
When you when you got the email, did you just click on the link or did you?
I did just click on the link. Maybe it was because I'm in like different browser profiles. So let me grab the official link and copy paste it as opposed to clicking it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Now, another thing we do as well to make sure that you are real is we also ask you to verify a phone number. So this could
Okay.
be
So this
your
I'm going
own
to pull
mobile number.
off.
You might want to do it on off screen.
Yeah. Because I really like you guys, but I don't think we're on a phone number basis yet. Let's see. I'm going to verify. And it says the phone number you provide will be used for authentication when you log into Twilio console. An onboarding specialist may contact with free onboarding support. Nathaniel, you are my onboarding specialist, so I'm
I
going to
am your
check this
onboarding.
box to not get contacted.
But so the cool thing is what we try to encourage at Twilio is two-factor authentication. So straight out of the box, when you set up your account, you are going to have text messages. I mean, we deliver it as a service. So as a minimum, we should integrate it into our own console, right? So
Absolutely.
just to keep everybody's phone numbers nice and secure.
All right. So, customizing my experience, I do write code. I like Node.
Yay, Team Node.
And I'm just going to skip because I feel like
Yep.
you already have a plan.
All right. So
Okay.
there we go. If you go to your left, where the circle with the three dots are,
Okay.
all the products and services, and programmable video is right there.
All right.
So this is where everything does. So now you may also want to take this off screen in a second, but you're going to need to show your API credentials to yourself
Okay.
and grab them in the
All right.
top right.
I'm clicking this link, but I don't know what it's going to show. So I'm going to click it off screen.
It's going to hide your auth token, but it'll show your account SID. And so this is what we use to authenticate anyone
Okay. So
joining.
I will show this. So this is the account ID. Now this is kind of like sort of public, like you would put it in your front end or whatever. And then the token is not. So
Yes.
I'm going to copy this first. And now I need these to be in like a .env file.
You're going to need,
All right.
precisely.
So right down here, we'll do .env. And then I'm going to say Twilio. Wow. Twilio account SID. That'll be that one. And then Twilio, what was it called? Auth token.
Auth token.
And then we'll want to put that one here. So I'm going to do this part off screen. So I'm going to get over here, grab this token. All right. So now I have grabbed that token and I have saved it as my .env file, which I'm now closing and will never look at again. Then I'm gonna,
you're going to need it one more time. One more time.
well, I have access to it in the .env, so I can like pull it in as a number or as a variable, but we won't look at that .env file again. Then here I'm going to bring this back over, and what happens next?
So we need one more thing. So we've got our account SID and our auth token, but we actually need an API key specifically. And the cool thing about API keys is you can turn them on and off.
Okay.
So if you go to tools and right where your mouse is, oh, that was my mouse. Go to tools and what you are going to do. If you scroll down just a little bit on the left where your menu is. All right. You see in the bottom left where it says API keys.
Got it.
All right. I'm pretty sure you're going to need to take this off screen.
Okay.
But you're going to generate a new API key.
Created. Oh, actually, okay. So let me pull this over. So what I did is I clicked create no API key, and now I'm going to do a friendly name, and we'll say this is like Twilio plus Gatsby episode app. And then do I want a standard or a master key?
Let's go with a standard key. So master keys have some extra permissions. They can sort of actually manage the account, but we're not going to be doing any of that.
Okay, great. I'm getting a lot of crap from the chat for not showing my API keys. Look, I am a professional, okay? I am very good at this. All right, I have API key SID. And I'm going to do an off-screen thing here so that I can have these over here so that I can hide them again. And this is going to be the secret. All right. And now I am clicking. There's like a thing that says, got it. So it basically, after I've created this, it says it's only shown once. And then I have to copy out the SID and the secret, and then I check a box that says I have saved my API key, which is good because I feel like I've done that in the past where I have like gotten an API key and it was only used once, and I just like close that tab or something, and then I go back and I'm like, oh, good, now I get to do this all over again. So now I'm clicking done. And all right, so now it shows me I've got the SID, but the secret is gone.
Yeah.
And so if I wanted it to do it again, I'd have to delete the API key. So now I have those. And do I need to put those in my .env as well?
Yes.
Okay. So let me grab this back off screen for a second, and I'm going to drop just those same 2 files, and I'm going to name those Twilio API SID and Twilio API secret. And I'm just putting in the values that I got from the API token screen or API key screen. All right, so that's saved and it is now closed. So we have access to those things. And now we can do stuff.
Cool. Now we can do stuff. So we're going to have 2 sort of sides of our video chat app. So we have the Twilio side, right? And Twilio needs to make sure that only people who have permissions or have keys, or more accurately have access tokens, can actually join our video. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to twilio.com/console.
Holy buckets.
And we're going to write some code.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by my own sound effects. Where am I back in Twilio?
And go back to the circle with the 3 dots.
Okay.
And if you scroll down, you should find functions.
Holy buckets, did that just work? Functions?
And we're going to create a new function.
So is it and is this just like any other Lambda, so like AWS Lambda or Netlify functions or any of those?
Very simple. Yes, exactly.
Cool.
It allows us to create really like serverless applications, but if we do need a bit of server-side code to manage it, we can just dump it on a function.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you hit, go on.
Sorry, now I'm just reading what these all do because it looks like there's so much power here. So basically these functions, we can, like, you've got boilerplate set up for voice calls, conference calls, text messages, redirects. Oh man. Hook up to Salesforce. Holy crap. This does so much.
Yep.
That's amazing. Okay.
So, I mean, this is the cool thing about Twilio. So everyone, the number of times where I've asked someone, have you heard about Twilio? And they go, oh yeah, it's the text company. And I'm like, because we do all sorts of communications, not just SMS and phone calls, but every sort of communication imaginable we want to make possible with Twilio. Maybe even we should check into using Morse code. Maybe we should have a product just for Morse code. But anyway, I digress. So now that we're in functions, we can hit blank and we're going to create a new function.
Okay. Did I do it? Oh, I clicked it. Now I have to hit the create button. That's, yep. All right. That makes sense.
Cool. And what we're going to do is we are going to give our function a name. So let's call our function create token.
Okay.
And we give it a path as well.
Like something like that.
Dashed. Perfect. Yep. And if you scroll down, now one thing you're going to have to do is see that access control tick? Uncheck that box. So because what you can do is you could have Twilio call its own functions if somebody phones your mobile or something, and then your Twilio function is only limited to being triggered by Twilio.
Gotcha.
But what we're going to do is we're going to have our browser sort of send calls to this function to get new auth tokens.
And so what we're doing here is we're basically saying this is a publicly accessible API, so anybody can call this. Okay, that makes sense. Do I need to choose an event?
No, you don't, because that would be maybe if a phone call was coming in or a message was coming in. So if we
so this is like a trigger.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So I'm scrolling.
But we're going to trigger it with the HTTP request. All right. So all of our code needs to fit between the exports.handler open bracket and the close bracket at the end.
So we are
So
cleaning up this section only.
precisely.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we are going to do a couple of things. The first thing we're going to do is if you put let access token,
Should I delete all this?
yeah, you can delete that,
Okay. So let access token.
equal. Oh, I'm just trying to remember something. Yes, get. All right, so we're going to need to do, we need to grab the Twilio client, and usually we would install Twilio onto our like computers or such. But because we're in functions, we've already got it there. So
Okay.
we're just going to write get Twilio client.
Get Twilio client like that.
And it should pop up and put brackets next to it. So that would be like the equivalent of in for example, Node going require Twilio.
Okay. And now it didn't
And
autocomplete for me. Does that mean that I typoed something?
um,
Because like when I was back here.
I made a mistake. You need to put a context dot get Twilio client. Twilio client.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay.
And what you're going to do next is you're going to, can we rename this access token to client? So we save our client somewhere and then we do something else.
I got you. Okay.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to come down and you're going to say let access token equal client dot jwt dot access token with a capital A and a capital O. I'm trying to remember if it's a small letter A. I don't remember off the top of my head, but let's stick it like that.
Okay.
All right. And now that we've got those two things, we are going to say, come down. If you come down, and we're going to say, let's, what should we call it? Let token. What we need to come up with a name for this. Now, this is where we're going to actually create a new token. So that access token that we created before was, we are grabbing it from the Twilio library and we're going to use it to create a new video grant. That's what it's called.
Okay.
So let token equal new, and then we're going to grab our access token that we've made before. Yep. And then we're going to open brackets. Now, this is something which is really cool about functions. Now, remember the auth token and the SID and everything that we had before? We do not need to sort of go back to get them here. What we can do is we can just go process.env. And let me just double check that I'm grabbing the right thing. So we can go functions and context. So we can grab our Twilio auth token and our account SID straight in functions.
It's a good elevator drop. All right. So it's in the environment or is it in the context?
It's in the environment. So it's a environment variable. So if you go auth account SID, so account all capital letters.
Like that?
SID, yeah. Okay. And comma. And you're gonna also have now we need to have our API key. So you put API underscore key.
Okay.
And our API secret. Now, unfortunately, the API key and the API secret are not available from here, but we will set that up in a second.
Okay. So
the way we set it up.
So not in the env?
No, leave that there because we are going to put our API key and our API secret into the env right now. So if you hit save, so we don't lose what we've done.
I'm going to hit save.
And go to on the left, you should see configure.
Okay.
And then what we can do is we can put all our environment variables in here.
Okay. And
So if you
now
scroll,
I need to
you
check
need
this
to
because right
back.
now that wouldn't work, what we've done already.
Yeah,
Okay.
and scroll
And
down, and then here add your up. Go back up, and
here.
where it says environmental variables, yeah, add your API key and your API secret.
Okay.
Probably do that off stream
Yeah, so that's going to
with
show plain text. So I want my API key and my API secret, and then I'm going
yep.
to actually add these values off screen. So let me get over here. Okay, values have been added, so I am saving, and they have
And
been configured.
go back to manage, and then open up our function again.
Okay. And now they are here. If I do API key and API
Yep.
secret, they exist.
Now they exist.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, let's grab a new line. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go token dot identity equals. And now, so whenever somebody grabs a key, the special thing about a key is that a key also has a name attached to it. So only one person can own a key.
Okay.
And the reason why that's useful is when they join the room, the key lets the room know who's joined in.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it can broadcast that to everyone else in the room. So what we would like is we would love to be able to have that when we send a request to this function, we can add a parameter that is an identity, like the person's name.
Yeah.
And then use that parameter in the in here in the identity. So what we can do if we want to grab something from an API call, from a parameter from the HTTP call, if we can go event dot, and then let's give it dot identity.
Identity. Okay. And so when we call this function, we need to have a parameter called identity.
Perfect.
Got it. Okay.
Going in. All right. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a grant. So if you come down, and let's use a const on this one because we want it to be safe. Grant equals new. And then in capital letters, video grant. I've missed a step. I've just realized because we're not going to be able to use this new video grant. So put the brackets there.
Okay.
Let's go back under our JWT access token, client.jwt access token. Okay. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to go video grant let's video grant equal small access token dot video grant with capital letters. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
And now
let's scroll back down.
Now I want that.
No, you're good. No, the other way.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Cool. And then so now we've got our token and we need to add video access to this token, right? Okay. So if you come under this and then you go token dot add grant.
Token dot add grant.
And then in the brackets, put grant. Perfect. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to come back down and then we want to say callback and then put null in the first. Say again.
I was going to say, so this is kind of like a standard, like the first argument is an error. So if there's no error, you send back null. And then the second argument is like the thing. And I assume that in this case, that's token.
That's going to be our token.
All right. So we now have...
right before you send that token, go token.jwt in capital letters.
Right here, you mean?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let me walk through this and make sure I understand what's happening. Did I miss a step?
No, I was just going to explain what JWT stands for.
Oh, yes, please do.
So JWT are JSON web tokens, and they are sort of a way that you can send secure token or codes to people to allow them access to certain things.
Okay, awesome. So to just kind of walk by this step by step. So when this function gets called, we've got context, which is kind of like things provided by the serverless function environment. We've got the event, which is what was sent to this, and then the callback, which is kind of how we do the next thing. We grab the Twilio client, and then using the Twilio client, we get an access token. And that access token, this is like a factory function or something that allows us to create a access token. And then we get a factory function to create a video grant. I feel like I'm getting my computer sciencey terms wrong here. Then we build a token using my account SID and then the API key that we created. In doing that, we're able to say, hey, whoever calls this function can get an access token that allows you to do whatever the thing is with this app that we've decided is possible. We add in the custom supplied identity, which will come from the person calling the function. Then we add the video grant, and then we send all of that back as a JSON web token.
Cool.
Am I getting all of that correct? Is there any other magic happening?
Perfect.
They're not JSON's web tokens. They're JSON web tokens. All right, so I'm going to save this. Okay.
Cool. And now we can actually build stuff in Gatsby.
Okay. Should I copy this?
You can copy that and keep that somewhere safe.
Okay, I'm gonna throw that off to my little scratch pad I've got going off screen here with all my secret things, and I'm going back to Gatsby now. So I'm back in Gatsby. Are we going to be building like front end code, or is this more server side stuff?
So now we're going into front end code, but we're going to need to create some components.
Okay. So maybe what we can do is kind of mock out what we're gonna do. Let me clear this.
Oh.
I'll keep this SEO component here, but we'll just be able to say, all right. So let's have just kind of a to-do list here. What are we gonna do?
So the first thing we're going to do is show our local video on screen.
Show local video.
And the next thing we're going to do is connect to a room.
Connect to a room.
And then show participants video on screen.
Okay.
And should we let's call it handle events. And the reason I call it handle events is when you're dealing with video, so many different events can happen. New people can join in. Someone might switch camera. Someone might leave. And each time we need to update your sort of browser with information on who's in the room right now and whose video should you be showing, who's left and who should you get rid of, etc., etc., etc.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, cool. Like and this is great because like, I feel like maybe once I did that for an old project and I've completely forgotten all of these things. So I'm super excited to dive into this. So these components, I think maybe what we can do is start by, let me just clear out some of this stuff that we're not using right now. Maybe we'll build them up here and then we can kind of extract them out as they get big so that it doesn't get too cluttered, but also so we're not hopping around between files.
Totally.
All right, let's do this.
So the first thing, why don't we make a sort of component called, should we call it video component, I guess?
Sure. Call it video.
And the first thing we want to do is that whenever this component is created or starts, we want to go ahead and fetch an access token.
Okay.
No, before we do that, just give me a second, because what we need to do is we need to have the user put in their identity, so their name, and then after they've popped in their name, we send off a request to the function we created earlier, get a token, and then use that token to connect.
Okay, so actually this first thing is like a give me your info kind of deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can probably just call this like start form or something.
Cool.
And with this, we're going to return like a form. And I guess that means that we're going to need some basic state. So what do we just need a name or do we need additional info?
I think the only two things we need is a name and a room name.
Okay. Let's do a use state. So I'm going to pull in use state. And then we'll do the same thing for room. Oops. Set room. Okay. And so then we're going to try to make this accessible. So I'm going to set up a label here, and that will be name. We'll say display name so people know what they're
Yeah.
doing. And then this, I don't like this, but I don't want to write a bunch of CSS. So
Yeah.
type text. And then we'll do value is name, and on change is going to be event, and set name event dot target dot value. I think we'll test that and see how that goes. And then we're going to do the same thing for the room. And I guess we'll just say room to join because we don't have the.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So assuming I got this right, when I start the server, we're going to do yarn develop to do that. What we should see, 4 is apparently better for assistive tech. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, what I will do is I will say for name, and then we'll give this an ID of name, and it needs a name because duh, and we'll call that name. And then
That always confuses me every time I'm creating new forms. So I'll either do one or the other.
yeah, so and this is what kind of gets confusing for me too, but kind of a quick aside, the 4 is looking, oh, and I'm doing this wrong because it's HTML4 in JSX. So what we're doing is the 4 looks for an ID, and the name is what sets the value when the form gets submitted. So like if we're doing it with React, so we're not gonna worry about that. But yeah, Rossipedia was also in the chat with all those answers, so that's super helpful. And name, because we're using React, technically name is optional here, but if we were building a real app, what we would be looking to do, since Gatsby is going to do server-side rendering, is we would want a no JavaScript fallback where you could like actually submit this form. I don't know that would help us a lot in the instance of what we're trying to do here. But for like a newsletter sign up or something, you would want that to fall back. And then finally, I think we just want a button type submit, and we'll say join video chat. And now that looks like it's, oh, so we created the form, but then we never actually used it. So in here, I guess we can just drop that thing in, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now if I go to localhost 8000, we should be looking at our form. Hey-o. All right. So what I didn't do though is I didn't create
Put a new line.
Yeah. So again, don't feel great about that. That feels very hacky, but we're gonna just live with that for the moment. Just everybody live with my shame. Okay. All right. So now we've got a thing, and if I did this right, we can fill it out. Okay. So we now have.
Holy buckets! Did that just work?
Oh, I love it. It's okay. So we have created a form, and then it seems like probably what's going to happen here is that when we submit that form, we need to send it off to our function. So in order to do that, we're going to need Axios, which means that today is a day that I get more Axios practice. The last couple streams I've used Axios. I usually don't get into it, but the first time I burned like 25 minutes getting the Axios API wrong. I was like trying to run something the wrong way. Last time we got it first try because I had all sorts of problems. But this time this is gonna work first try. No questions asked. It's just gonna work. So we're doing a yarn add Axios. Do you know
Is it time for this music? Oh no, it's too.
Oh no, it's too fast. Way too fast. So a question for you: do you know with Twilio functions, do we need to send it as a post, as a get? Does it matter?
As a post.
As a post. Okay, perfect. So now in here, I can import Axios from Axios, and we get to try to remember how to submit forms. So on submit, we'll call this handle submit, and it's going to do some stuff. We want it to be async because we're going to get the result back of the Axios stuff. And so we're going to do Axios dot, let's see, it'll be method is post. The URL is going to be our Twilio function. And then the oh no, data? Oh God. Okay. Maybe I lied about knowing how Axios works.
I know this.
That's
I know
definitely
this,
not it.
and it's just jumped out of my head.
I think it's data.
No, I wrote this in some code the other day.
I know. I was doing this in code the other day. So this is my problem is like, I am so reliant on Google now that I never remember how anything works. So let's go method post. All right. And it's data. So we're going to do data, and now we're going to send in the name. Or wait, we want to send an identity, right?
Yeah.
And the identity is going to be the name.
Yeah.
Now for the room, do we need to do something with that?
So now here's where it gets interesting. So what you can do is you can send a room, and when you send a room, that means the person can only ever join the particular room they are in.
Okay.
I mean, that they've been assigned to. For now, I would say let's leave the room, let's finish it, and then maybe we can clean up later, or maybe we don't even need to do it at all. But if you were building this sort of in production, you wouldn't want someone to have access keys or an access token to be able to access every sort of video chat that API key was running.
Right. Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Let's stop there. And let's see if we can get a token back.
Okay. Let me just do a console log, and we'll put in the result and see what comes back. And so then I'm going to on submit, and we'll have this return. You'll use the event, and we'll just event prevent default. Okay. And so on submit, we are going to handle submit. And I think that'll just work. So let's yarn develop. Oh yeah, the dot post method on Axios is also
what
great.
I've known. So I used the dot post Axios, the dot post method, and when I saw this, I was like, "This looks new." Today,
yeah. So this is like, honestly, I only have so much room in my brain, and so what I found is that if you call Axios like this, then it's always kind of the same API, which I mean I realize has tripped me up when I swapped out data for params, but like. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way here. This is just something that like, this is what I've seen, and I can like, oh, if I call Axios, then I can set the method, and then, you know, it's always kind of the same. Whereas the dot post stuff, it's like, you know, dot post, and then you send in a string, and then maybe an object or things like that, and the whole thing just confuses me. Chris Biscardi's giving me crap because I'm not using.
I was gonna say
GraphQL.
GraphQL.
Yeah, GraphQL would be awesome for this, but I don't know that I have the time to do it.
I was going to say that like GraphQL is brilliant, but it's an investment.
It takes a little bit of time to set up. I think, it can take a little bit of time to set up. If we were going to get into like Amplify, we just had Kurt Kempel on the show last Thursday, and he showed us how to stand up a GraphQL API with AppSync in like 0 minutes. We did a full serverless GraphQL API talking between different backends, and the whole thing took us like 90 minutes to set up. So it is getting much easier, but that's not what today's show is about. We're doing video today. So I have this. We've got our thing is running. So what I want to do is get out here. I want to get the console up, and let's see. Let's close this. And now I'm going to. Let's see what happens when I join that video chat.
Drum roll.
Oh no! It does not like my CORS policy. Buckets. Did that just work? Oh, it didn't just work though. It didn't work, EcoMath. All right. How about some CORS? Do we need to like specifically allow this function to take? Let's see. Environment variables, dependencies.
Hit the top right. I just want to see if you actually got an error on the call. So like
Where's
that
the
little
top?
bug on the top. So now what's really cool is anytime that there's a problem, it's usually flashing. And the fact that it isn't flashing makes me worry that, oh, wait, we have an error on Twilio function response.
A minute ago, so that was our call.
Turned out before your response must contain a. Doesn't our response contain a callback?
It does, yes.
Scroll down a little bit more. You should get the inspector, which tells you
cannot read property access token of undefined.
All right, let's head back to our function.
Back to the function. Nope. Where am I? Oh God. What have I done? Functions. Somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, right. Before you click on it, you see. Oh, okay, it's too late.
I broke it. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you're fine. I was going to pin it up there so we never lose it again. But if you go to create token.
Creating a token.
And scroll down.
So it doesn't like this.
Yeah, it doesn't like that.
So one thing that I noticed is we've got the Twilio stuff directly in the environment. So if we look in the configure, Twilio is here. Should I just pull that in?
You can.
Should I?
Do you want to try it out?
Sure, yeah. So
you can go require.
So like let client equals require Twilio.
Yep.
And then instead of this, right? And now that should just work. Now, does JWT need to be capitalized or anything?
No, it doesn't need to be quite capitalized.
Okay.
Why are Twilio? Do you want to try that?
Yeah, let's save that. Let's come back out here. Let's run it again. It didn't like that.
Let's go back to our debugger. Supposed to be uppercase? No, it's not. And
okay, so this time it didn't do anything.
Oh, this time we don't have refresh that.
How did that? What? All right, let me reload. Let's try again. Okay, it's still giving me the CORS thing, which I guess that kind of seems like a different error. It still doesn't.
And we're only getting the same one. Give me a moment while I Google some stuff.
Didn't it say it's supposed to return a promise and be async? That's a good question. But that feels like it would be. That would be if you didn't want a callback, right? You would just return a promise. So I think that's just to make sure that you don't run into synchronous issues. Hey, what's up? Ryan Kubik's here. A section that had 4 rules it listed out. All right, so I'm going to get in here.
Your function must contain a callback, which we have.
If you are using a JavaScript promise, make sure the callback is called in both success and catch blocks, or your function responded with an error. And so in our case, it did respond with an error, which is just that we were pulling in the wrong thing. So
can we go back to where we pulled access token from?
We pulled access token from client.jwt.
Client.jwt. Now, what I'm curious, if you scroll down on this screen.
Oh, wait. So we've got
yes, in the chat. We need to do that step. Now that we've done, because we didn't use the get Twilio client, we also need to.
Okay. Client equals
new Twilio. And the cool thing is you can actually leave it blank because it's pulling in your auth token and account SID from your environment variables.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Hit save. Right. Now, before we leave this page, if you scroll down underneath the function, we should have some logs. So if you leave this open, then whenever we make a request to it, we can go back to the logs and see what's happening.
Okay.
Which is quite useful.
All right, so I'm reloading. Continue to test. Still getting a CORS policy. It did do a thing. But now it says username is required.
Is required. If you scroll up.
That's helpful.
No, username is required. I know I've seen this error so many times, and it happens when Twilio can't get your auth token and account SID. And what I think happens is when I'm coding in Node, I can leave it blank. But what I think is the name of the environment variables here are slightly different from the default environment variables that we usually have.
Okay. So those are going to be in here, right? So that's
and you need your
account SID and auth token. So those are enabled. And when I come back over here, I'm going to get process.m.account SID and process.m.auth token. Okay. And so is that good? Should we roll from there?
Try that?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Did I spell something wrong? Oh, I did. Good catch. Thanks, Babby. All right. Let's come back out here. Refresh.
I'm curious why we're getting calls, though.
That's a great question. Probably it's something in Axios, but since we're getting errors back here.
Cannot read property access token of undenied of defined.
Yep. So it still doesn't like this one.
All right. 1 second of Googling. I'm just looking at one I built before. It's the brilliant thing about building stuff earlier. And Twilio, require Twilio. Can we go back to the?
I can go back.
Yep. Require Twilio. Can you change client to Twilio? There we go. I have made a mistake. No, the second client.
Second here.
That one. So what I think the mistake I've made is we don't actually, if I'm correct, we shouldn't actually need the client. We should be able to just grab access token because we don't necessarily need to authenticate just yet, because we're going to authenticate when we actually create a new access token.
So you're saying this actually shouldn't be there at all. It should be, we're just getting Twilio in general.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's give that a shot.
This was my bad.
It's okay. Let's see what happens if I just rerun it. Come back out here. What happens? Still can't read.
Was this right now? Yes, it was.
Let me run it again. I don't think I'm counting properly.
No, you're good. So that date hasn't changed. So
That
that
date has
timestamp hasn't
not
changed. So that's an
changed.
old. So if you hit the
Okay.
debugger,
I'm in the
and
debugger.
if you hit debugger, you have new events. What's this from
Yeah,
2
this
minutes
one's
ago?
just 2 minutes ago. And so this one is again that access token of undefined. So I don't think that's actually the one that we were running into.
Okay.
So let's debug this Axios core stuff. You don't have any with credentials. I don't think that's what I want. Come on, man. Do we have a... In here, we've got Twilio.jwt, which that should exist, right? Then we've got the access token comes out of that, and we don't ever reference the client again, so that should all be okay. So theoretically, this should work, but we're having cores problems. So, Axios cores post. Let's just let those issues. Axios create with credentials true. Yeah, Ryan, I did check the enable account sid and auth token. We checked that out. So that part is done. Do I need to include? Maybe I'll just try that. Just see what happens. So we'll say with credentials true. We don't have any credentials, so I don't think that's going to matter at all. But I'm going to try it because that's the type of adventurous show we're on. I think we're on test 8. Let's just keep going. Okay, so pre-flight did not check. Wildcard. So yeah, so do we need do we have to specifically allow certain origins?
We shouldn't. No.
Okay.
So I'm going to.
Are there any special headers or?
Here's the thing, because we are still running our function. Our function is getting run, and we are getting errors while we're running our function. Because if we were blocking from certain places, then our function would never run in the first place.
Okay.
Well, this isn't.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it looks like, I don't know if this is new. Okay, so I apologize, but I apparently had a little too much coffee today. I'm going to take a quick break. Nathaniel, if you want to entertain us with some stand-up comedy, no pressure, but I'll be back in just 1 second.
Hold on, let me get my mic. Oh, I don't have a mic. Hey, folks. How are you? I love the music, the elevator music. Oh, all right. I'm gonna tell you my funniest elevator story. Can you still hear me? Can someone in the comments tell me if you hear me? All right, cool. You can hear me. That's cool. All right. My funniest elevator story happened. I went Signal, and the first day of Signal, we had a champion summit. So now I've only been working at Twilio for 2 months, right? So I'm pretty new, and I've never had the opportunity to meet Jeff, our CEO. Anyway, so I'm one of the helpers at the front desk, inviting champions in and taking them upstairs to the office. And while I was inviting one of them in, while they got in the lift, Jeff gets in the lift too. Now, I am relatively starstruck by the fact that Jeff, this person that I think is amazing, is in the lift, in the elevator with me. In England, we call it lift. So in the elevator with us. And so it's me, this champion, and Jeff. And she was amazing. She was talking, and she asked Jeff, "Oh, do you work at Twilio?" And I was I didn't know how to respond. I was like, this is interesting. And he said yes, and he just smiled. Anyway, gets off the lift. We go to Champion Summit. Now, later on in the day, Jeff comes and says hi. And they're doing a big intro, and the person says, "I'd like to welcome to the stage the CEO of Twilio, Jeff." He walks on, and then she tweeted later, I asked him, like, "Who are you?" He said he works there, and finds out that he's the CEO. It was such a funny story, right? I was imagining how I would be in a situation where where Chef Brent's sarcasm starts and ends. But it was a funny story. That's my funniest elevator story, other than when I got trapped in an elevator when I was a kid.
I feel trapped in. Oh man. Okay, so that's probably that. So the next time
for another day.
Yeah, when we need to fill some time, I think that's how we're gonna do it. All right. So with this, we have. So we need to send this. I'm seeing some things. Let's see. App.use. So we're not using Express. So I don't think we have middleware. So I think instead we're just gonna set up. Where's this response go? New Twilio response?
This is within a function.
This is within a function, and so if we look at our function, so should we be using like environment Twilio? Because it looks like there's just like Twilio is already available, so maybe we should be using that one.
Should we try it?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. All right, so instead of this, I'm going to get rid of that. And we're going to use existing Twilio. Does that one come with, what would be really cool is if this came with autocomplete. I don't know.
Yes! Now it does. Look.
Does it? Well, that's the local one, so I'm not sure if that's...
Oh, is it the local one?
Or wait, no.
Wait,
it's
go .jwt.
keywords.
Try .j.
JWT.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the local stuff. Yeah. Okay. So I don't think that's it, but that's okay. What we do need though is we need to figure out how to get the body set on this, because we're sending back a response, but the response isn't.
So if you
response object. We send back a result.
So if you go to our... So if you want to send a response object, I think we need to build it. And that is telling us how to build.
Right. And so I think that's what we need, because we need to set those headers. At least I want to try this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this straight up. Let's maybe start here to see if we can get a response to work. So I'm going to pull all of this and just kind of comment it out for now. And then I'm going to drop this in. And let's see what we get if I set allow origin to all. Don't want to allow delete. That's probably fine. So let's do that. Wrong save button. Let's use the real save button. And then when I come out to here, our function has been successfully deployed. So I'm going to do a cores test. Pre-flight. And the response must not be the wildcard when the credentials mode is include. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere, because I shouldn't have set this at all. So let's try this one more time. Hey, now we got data. So it set back some data. The headers all make sense. Okay. Oh, and it came back even with identity. Look at that. Or wait, no, the config is... so this is what I sent. That's what I sent. But that's good news.
Holy bucket, does that work thing happen? Do you press a button or does it happen automatically?
So that comes from the the chat. So there's this cool thing with I use Streamlabs, and like you can put together like a store, but it's not a store for money. It's a store for this imaginary currency called Blitzbucks that you get for watching minutes of the stream, and you can cash those in for.
You can tell I'm totally a Twitch noob, right?
But yeah, okay. So this is exciting. So now we've got our Twilio response is working, and we solved
Cool.
that by creating a Twilio response. Twilio is just globally available, and then we set some headers to allow any origin, which means that our local host can say, hey, give me some stuff, and we'll allow that. And then we reset those headers. So next, what we need to do is we need to figure out how that Twilio.response sets a body. So should I Google that, or
It wasn't on the docs that you were just on.
was it? Yeah, this is kind of where I got lost. Is like,
If we,
let's see, functions FAQ.
how do I return JSON on the left?
Here.
Is
Okay,
just
so
above.
now this one is not. That's
So
not
that's
the
if we only
official
want to
Twilio response.
Scroll
I'll do
down a little bit more.
Twilio.response. So multiple headers. It's the only one that includes Twilio.response. What if I just search
So
for
no.
Twilio?
So you can use both. If you can't you do response.set headers and then send something with the actual response?
Yeah, so that was what I was trying to figure out, because if it's set headers, do I just need to like set something else? But I'm not sure where a standard HTTP.response and a is that I
I'm
don't know.
going to
So
find.
this is something I don't actually know very well. So let's
If you
try
go response, so if you go response.set body, you misspelled response. So
response
response dot
dot
set
set
body.
body.
All right,
And then
and
is it
then you should be able to set an object in there.
okay? So let's try this and make sure that oh God, I'm hitting the wrong save button. Make sure that we get the right data back. And then once we've done that, go away. That definitely works. What?
Did we just destroy it?
How? We didn't change anything. Response.set headers. Is it because we set a body?
Responses. That's interesting. Does it work?
And then it works. So it doesn't like set body. Ryan sent me a list or a link to the response methods. So let's take a look at these. Set body takes either an object or a string. So we're sending an object. Make sure to set the corresponding content type header with append header. So we are not doing that, I don't think. And so that's probably why it failed. So let's
maybe instead of
JSON
headers, we need to
stringify it. Yeah, I'm going to JSON stringify this and see if that makes a difference, because that was a good suggestion in the chat. So let's give that a shot. And then we will, you done deploying? It is now deploying. It has been successfully deployed. Let's give it a shot. Haha. Came back, data, test, yay. Yes. All right. We're in business. So let's go back in here and let's just try to add all this back in. So I'm going to take this information and we're going to, I think that just like that'll give us a token. Okay. And so if I set the body to token, what happens? I don't know. Let's try it. Let's try it and find out.
I won't be surprised if we get the like, this object does not exist, but we'll find out.
Data, account SID, identity. We got ourselves. Oh, it sent back a whole bunch. So that's good. It sent us things. And there's the keys. So this being sent back in, like, this seems bad.
Holy buckets. Did that just work?
Or maybe it's not bad. Maybe that's just something that, like, is this what we need to use to let...
If we scroll back that I think that's what we need to use to let the video connect to. Is that the same as your secret? Actually, don't answer that.
Let me look. Yeah. So that's probably not a good thing.
That's not a good thing.
All
right. Should we go ahead and then make this more secure in a second?
Should we? Well, yeah. So I guess the question here is like, we definitely don't want somebody to be able to fire this and get back an API key, or at least not like a privileged API key, because what we want is for someone to get back
an access token.
Yeah. So
wait. Scroll. Go back to your function.
Back to my function.
Hit create token. What are we actually sending them if you scroll down?
Well, so we do a new access token, and we send in the account SID, the API key, and the API secret. Are we just encoding that as
send that? We scroll down.
Okay.
Hit token. Go to token.
Token. Which one? Here.
The one right at the bottom. Response.setBody JSON.stringify token. Put dot, and then put 2JWT. So two. And then the W and the T are small, and then put brackets there.
Like so.
Now try it. Yeah.
Okay. So let's save
that's what we missed. I was about to say that shouldn't happen.
All right. So I need to go cook that API key here in a second, but for now. So that sends back.
There you go.
Okay. So that seems right. And then let's go to
that's right.
Jot. Let's go find jot.io and make sure that it's not just a encoded version of that. So this gives us back our identity.
Buckets. Did that just work?
And it's not including our tokens or anything. Okay, so that's what it was. All right, so let me go kill this. Let me go kill this API key and set up a new one real quick because I love the folks in the chat, but these jokers, they get mean.
Well, I mean, on the plus side, someone said that you're not a robot because we never fumble, right? Actually, I don't think this was a fumble. This was a little bit of a detour, the scenic route.
It was in. Was it in here? Where was it that I API credentials? This is the one that I.
Bottom left. No.
Not this one.
Tools. No. You were right there.
Tools. Tools.
There you go. And then API keys.
API
underneath
keys.
Tools.
All right. And so we're going to kill this one. Or can I just refresh it? No, I need to delete it. All right. So I'm going to delete this API key. I'm going to create a new one. And it's going to be called Twilio plus Gatsby video chat version 2. And oh no. All right. God dang it. All right, let's delete that one immediately. I thought it was going to show it masked. Okay. Well, that's what the process looks like for everybody who was asking. Let me pull this off screen. And just setting this up again. All right, creating an API key. And now I have a SID. I have a secret. Okay, those are saved and off screen. And then I am going to hide those. Okay, so that one's fine, bringing it back. And then I'm going to go over to my .m file. So pull this over. And let's update that so that I have that information. So there's the API. There's the secret. I'm going to save that, close this .n file, and then bring it back over. Okay. Cool. And then we also need to update inside the functions.
Yeah, yes.
Here.
Good spot. Right before you click on functions, you see the pin? Yeah, just pin that.
Oh, so now I can just grab it from there. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so much nicer. Okay, perfect. Then if I go into configure, I have my environment variable. So I'm going to pull these off screen real quick and update them.
Cool.
All right, so we're getting places. Things are happening.
So the hard part was getting that token. The relatively easy part is now actually getting video on the screen.
Okay, so we now have an updated thing. I'm going to make sure that this actually does what we want. Let's join one more time.
Cool.
Okay, so keys are updated. Things are doing what we want. We now have a token, which means that we can get that back. Where was it? It was in result.data.
You did console.log result, and
Let's see,
it was in
console.log
result.
result.data.
Data, yeah.
Okay, so I can go in and just grab, we'll call it jot equals result.data. Okay, and now what do I want to do with this? Do I want to store this in the state or?
So restore it in. You don't want to store it just inside the start form because our video component is going to need it.
Right. Okay, so then I probably want that one to be up here. I might be, we'll go token, set token. That'll be use state, and we'll call it false. And then we will send in like, right. So we're going to pass that in as a prop. And that prop is called store token. So once we have it, I'm going to we would need to add error handling here, but I'm just going to do store token and add in the jot.
Cool.
So then here, what we should be able to do is say, like, if there's no token, show this. Otherwise, and this should show whether or not we did that right. So let's get in here and we'll say JSON token test, and we have a token.
Yay.
Okay.
Cool. So now the next thing is we want to have our video. So we need to create a video component.
Okay, video component.
Holy buckets, did that just work?
That did just
Yeah,
work,
yeah.
and it was amazing. All right, so I'm going to pull this out because I believe we're done with that component, and I'm going to put it into its own thing. So we're going to call it startform.js. I'm going to drop this in. We're going to give it import React and use state, whoops, from React. And then we're going to export default start form. And I think that was everything we used. Good,
Cool.
good, good. Oh, I need to get Axios. Okay. So then that one should be working. I should be able to import start form from components start form. We don't need Axios anymore because that's now encapsulated. And all right, so now, whoops, now we're ready to create our video component.
So to create our video component, we need on a component did mount. Is it component did mount? Component did mount.
I think we can do a use effect. Get into the hooks for this.
Cool.
This should be fun because I'm going to have to remember how it works. All right, so use effect. So the effect that we're running, and then that's going to run only on first launch, or that'll run. What? Well, okay.
So
maybe tell me what we're doing
after we get the token.
Okay. And so we'll get the token, and this will only run whenever the token changes. Okay.
Cool.
And then what do we need to do?
So then what we need to do is we need to connect to the video. So what we are going to do is, before we do that, we need to import capital letter video from Twilio -video.
And I'm aliasing it to Twilio video because we already called our component.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
And what we're going to do then is we're going to go video.connect.
So, inside here.
Yeah, inside. Yep. Twilio video.connect. And then if you open the brackets, the first thing we need is our token. And if you
look at this autocorrect or autocomplete. That's nice.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Comma, and then you can put in a and then now we can have video is true, I believe. I think it's video is true. Let me double check. Video true, audio true as well. So it's just say that we definitely want video and audio on this. And then what we're going to do is we are going to, do you want to stop there and run it? And let's see what happens.
So well, it's not going to do anything just yet.
Dot then. Sorry, one more thing. Dot then, and then console.log successfully joined room.
Okay. Should I?
And then the one successfully joined room. Cool. Now the one thing is, right now it doesn't know what room to join into. So what we need to do is let's give it a fixed name. So if you come into after audio comment is true, put one more thing and call it name, and then let's call it test. Now here's what's cool is if there is no room, then it will, if there is no room called test, it will create room test, which is quite useful. And if if a room name that is test already exists, it will join it. So let's run it and see if we get successfully joined room.
Okay, so we need to say, instead of running this, it's going to be video, and the token will be token. And there's some questions in the chat about whether it would run when it's initially set up. That is possible, but we're only going to call this video component if the token is initialized.
If the token is initialized.
That shouldn't be possible, but we might be able to break this, but for the happy path at least, this should work. So let's go. Oh, it looks like it already picked it up. So this was because we hot reloaded. So cool. I'm going to allow successfully joined the room. We're in a room. And
you are the only person in this room.
I'm the only participant. I am the local participant.
And the local participant is you. So right now it's actually using, this is interesting. Is it working right now? So I was afraid that what would happen is your video wouldn't work because your camera is being used by your streaming, but you might be streaming from a different machine. Then it's fine.
We may run into all sorts of issues because I'm definitely like my video is plugged into all sorts of weird things.
That's perfect.
But I guess we can just give it a shot and see what happens.
Cool. All right. Now, so we actually need to show, we actually want to show this on the screen.
Yes.
And then what we want to do is if we go back to our, if we go back to our screen, what we want to do is show local media. And I'm just scrolling quickly down so that I can see some code that I've got ready.
Sorry, can you, am I in the code editor? Am I on the browser?
You are fine. I was scrolling through my own code.
Gotcha.
So the first thing we want to do is handle and display our local media. So if we create a div that is called local media.
To just like give it an ID.
Yes, give it an ID of local media or something else. Anything.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
And then what we want to do is, bear with me a second. I'm just trying to find the right syntax for this.
Is this going to be a video tag?
No, we don't need to give it a video tag. So this is the cool thing about the way it would work. What it's going to do is it's going to dump in some video for us, in
Oh,
a video
okay.
tag into the div for
Gotcha.
us. And I'm just trying to remember specifically where to do that. So if you put into Call Connect, create room, join the room, set up local media. All right, if you go back up to the video, and then what we want to do is we want to do something called create local tracks. So Twilio, the create local tracks API will sort of access our video and create a local track. And then what we want to do is, so if you go to after Twilio, after video.connect, wherever it ends, let's put a dot then.
So like on, all right, so I'm going to break these into different lines so we can see what's going on. So we've got this. This is our current one. Here's the dot then.
Cool. All right, so inside our result, let's create local video track.
Like Twilio video dot.
Yeah, Twilio video dot create local video track. Give it a bracket, and then what we want to do is we are going to say that. So it's going to give us a track. You don't need to put anything inside a body.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So dot then, and it's going to give us a track. And then what we want to do is, what was the name of our div? Local media. So we want to go const local media container, let's call it, and do document.getElement by ID. How do you reference stuff in here? Would it be document.getElement by ID?
We would use a ref. Oh boy. Okay, can I do this from memory? Let's find out. Use ref, and then I'm going to say const local vid ref equals use ref null, I think. And then I'm going to be able to say the ref. So we won't actually need this ID. It'll be local. What was it? Local vid ref.
So then what we can do is, instead of const local media container, we can just go local video dot append chat local video
vid ref dot current dot append child.
Yeah. And then what we should be able to do is go track dot attach
as like a function.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
And that should stick our video into our local media div.
Cool. Okay. So I am like 50% convinced that I didn't screw that ref up. So let's maybe just try. Oh, snap. That like almost.
And now we
worked.
are in I think we're in the situation where the camera, click on your camera icon, top right.
Camera icon, top right. Yeah. It is using continue allowing. And it's using your FaceTime. Okay, let me open this one up. Aha.
Yay!
Okay, so if I close this. All right, so this is my other camera. This is the one on my laptop. And I would have to figure out how to change that if I could.
Holy buckets, did that just work?
What happened is, so what's happened is right now, it could try and use the one you're streaming from, but you're streaming from it. So Chrome goes, can I use this? No, you can't. What other cameras are available? I'm going to default to that.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, this is slick, man. This is very cool.
So the cool thing is you can sort of just do all your styling for videos, and then whenever it comes in, it will just dump it into a div for you and handle that.
Yeah, and so what you're so what you're saying is that so this video is our local video. Are we going to like each other video is going to be kind of dropped into a participant's div and
exactly.
Okay. Do we want to do that in this component or should we do that in a different one?
So right now, video is all the components. We can do it in the same component. I would do it in the same component. What I would do is instead of returning one div with the ID local media, I will return a div with a local media inside it and a remote media inside it.
I understand. Okay,
sense.
so we'll do that. And we'll make this into, and then we'll call this one div. Yeah, like that. All right, so let me create another ref. Oops, remote vidref. Remote vidref. I'm going to get rid of this too because we're not actually using it. And then these, I think Prettier takes care of that for me. So now I have my local video ref and my remote video ref. I am going to, should I just, let's see. How do we, what you were talking about CSS. How do you want to handle that?
How any way we want. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I haven't thought about it.
All right. So a couple things. First, just a quick time check. Usually we're about done by now.
Okay.
I'm happy to keep rolling. I've got nothing coming up. I don't know. I know it's kind of getting late over there for you, so I don't want to keep you up all night. We could definitely do like a part 2 if you want to do it. Or we can just roll on through.
What we could do is, should we just try and get one other person's video in? Maybe just one more participant, and then maybe clean it up afterwards another time? And finish off with the collaborative coding box.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a chat going, because what we're gonna have to do to make that work is we're gonna have to deploy this, and then someone's gonna have to visit that URL and join, right? So I feel like that's probably as far as we can reasonably get without going into a second stream. But this is all cool enough that I feel like we should do a second stream to kind of get into how would you control this, how would you restrict access. Because this is like amazing as a proof of concept, but I think that to make this something that's more practical, we'd have to figure out how do I make sure that only people I want to join can join my room, or things like that.
I guess you could do it so that when you share a link, only people with access to that link can join the room.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we can definitely play with that. But for now, what I think we can do is let's try to get some remote videos in here. So I'm not going to worry much about styling at all, actually. I'm totally cool if this is ugly.
Now that you say that, I've just realized. So we'll have to deploy it for us to get remote participants in it.
And that's
now, if
totally
you had
fine.
more than one, if you had more than 3 cameras available, then you could actually do remote participants with yourself. So the reason why I knew we were going to run into the camera problem is once I was sort of building it, and I'd always get one screen working, but I can never get the second one because I only had one camera. And then I used 2 cameras, and then I could sort of video chat to myself with 2 cameras. Yeah. So I think we may have to stop here and maybe pick it up, deploy it, and then actually bring in participants.
And I think we can do that. So we can, if we can build this so that where it's ready for remote participants, we can deploy it to Netlify in about 5-10 minutes.
Cool.
So that part won't take very long.
Okay. So when your video, you see that result that we got?
Yes.
Let's rechange it to room so that we just understand what we're doing. So whenever we connect to a room, we get a room object back.
Okay.
And now what we can do is we can go room.participants. So within this room object, we've got all the participants dot for each. So for each participant, we then want to add their video. And the way we sort of display their video is we go inside, we go if participant dot tracks dot for each,
Wait, what?
Publication. Okay, so this is what I'm about to say. So every participant that sort of joins your video stream, right? They have tracks. Right. So if you look up, remember when we create local video track, but what's powerful about Twilio is sometimes one user may want to like show more than just one video and one audio track. Does that make sense? So for example, when you're like, so for example, if you are streaming and you are streaming your video and audio from your camera are one track, but you're also showing us what's on your screen. That's another track.
Gotcha. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. That totally makes sense.
So when we go through each participant, we need to grab all of the tracks that they have available.
Okay.
So now it sounds a bit maybe complicated when you're only dealing with one participant or a few participants who are only using video and chat and voice. However, if they suddenly decide to have multiple cameras and they want to stream all of their angles, they still can because they're just adding more tracks.
That's the dream, right? Is to be like, I want like camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
Exactly, right? And the cool thing is with video, you can actually build it so someone on one side can switch which camera they're using at a time.
Man, that is awesome. Okay.
So it's all.
All right, so I'm with you. I am confused by running a loop inside of an if statement.
By running a loop inside of an if statement or inside of
this here that we're doing, I'm a little confused.
That if is supposed to come later. Get rid of that if. Sorry,
okay, so we're doing participant tracks for each track,
and then for each publication. Yes, tracks for each publication. Okay. So the way we're going to think of it is, each person has a track, and they publicize this track. They can also unpublicize this track. So for each one that is publicized, we are going to say if this publication is subscribed. So that means is open to everyone. Then we are going to const track equals publication.track. And then we're going to grab our remote media div, append child track.attach. And that should handle anyone who is connected.
Okay, so here we have attach the local video.
Track.
Attach video for all remote participants.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, that makes sense to me. I'm with you. And so now, theoretically speaking, what should happen? I broke it. Remote video ref is not defined. That's a lie. I did it. Remote vid ref.
Oh.
It's not a lie. I was the lie. Okay, so now I have here, and we join, and it shows my video, but there are no remote participants.
Tab.
All right, okay. So
let's see.
Should I like incognito this?
I want to see if it should work regardless, but let's see what happens.
I guess that doesn't matter because that's okay. Does it show multiple?
Go back to your original one.
I think it might be identifying us as the same. No, that's not right.
Are both videos working?
Oh, no. Yep, you're right. I screwed up. Ref.current.
Oh.
Thank you for saving me from myself. I appreciate it very much. Hey-o. All right.
There we go.
Okay.
Is that working? Are both videos working?
It looks like it's, it looks like it's working. So here's what I'm going to do. Where's my git status? All right. Good. Git commit.
Buckets. Did that just work?
Let's see. So let's ship that. I'm going to do git create. I'm going to git push setup stream origin master, and that's going to give us the repo. Then, oh no, git browse. Oh, I forgot to add you as a co-committer on this. Sorry, dude. All right,
That's all
so
right.
that's the repo. Here we go. Then we're going to netlify init. And we're going to create and configure a new site. It's going to be called Gatsby Twilio video chat. Okay, I'm going to put it on my team. It's going to be yarn build, goes into public, no netlify.toml. Yes, we do. Twilio is totally going to cost me money. That's okay. We're not going to keep this live for that long. So this one is kind of like if you watch this in the future, most likely this demo app's not going to work. So then I need to go to Netlify open. That's going to take us to the Netlify homepage, which this is like, it's so cool how powerful like all these tools are. The fact that like with a few commands you can set up a new Git repo and then set it, hook it up to Netlify and all that. Now what I need to do is I need to add my environment variables here, right? So right now there aren't any. I need to go set up the all the same tokens that we had in Netlify. So I'm going to pull my .env off screen. Actually, did we even use any of that?
We didn't use it here. Wait,
We
scroll
didn't
back
use
up.
it. It just works because it's calling that.
Yeah, it's called in
Yeah,
that.
you know what? We don't need that because we didn't actually end up using it. So let's just ship it and see what happens.
Dun, dun, dun.
I need a secrets command. What? So just so like we can shortcut waiting for me to screw up and it'll just show them to automatically. Is that the? All right, let's see. I could run it with Netlify dev. That is absolutely true, Tony. I'm not going to do that because I actually want somebody from... No, what failed? What didn't you like? Can't resolve my start form. Did I not add? Oh, I think I missed a page.
Okay.
So let's add everything, git commit.
Now, I'm not sure if... Actually, you already used Twilio and it worked. So
Yeah,
it
should totally
I
totally
just
work.
realized. Oh yeah, so I completely forgot. When you sign up for a Twilio account, you get like $15 of free credit.
Yes. So I don't think this is going to last very long. I don't know how much the video chats cost, but yeah, I would assume this is going to run out of free credit here pretty quickly, and then once it does,
it won't run out. It definitely won't run out within the stream.
Okay, cool, awesome. So let's
now, like fingers crossed. But the video is quite cheap. If I remember, it's like less than. I'm pretty sure it's less than 50 cents a minute, and you get $15 of credit. So yeah,
0.004 cents per minute.
Yeah.
Ryan with the very helpful links today.
I know it was really cheap, but I just didn't want to like put my foot in my mouth and worry later.
Does it show me how to do this? Okay, that's not working, but Ryan, I need to hook you up with some points for that. Okay, so we're just waiting for the build here. And Chris, that is totally what I want, is a secret scene. I need I just kind of want like a funny censored thing that'll just show across the top so that I don't have to actually pull it off screen. It'll just kind of mask. And that way, yeah, it'll be easier. The problem I have now is if I switch to my be right back screen or something, it will, it like turns off the sound and stuff. So that's not currently an option, but that's okay.
Especially not when they can listen to my amazing elevator stories.
That's a fact. That's really what we want. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Honestly, let's just find out what happens. I'm going in. The room should be hard coded, but just in case, put in test, and I'm going to join this chat. Now, anybody who wants to, feel free using the chat box to jump in.
Ooh.
And please remember, this is a PG-13 show, and we want to make sure this stays that way. So, I know this is kind of chat roulette, but please be responsible. The room, just put in test, but it should be hard coded for the room name.
Let's see. I'm going to do it as well.
Yeah.
Join. Drum roll.
Somebody.
Hello.
Anything happening?
Okay. All right. We have missed a step, I believe.
Oh no, what did we
I
miss?
think we missed one step. Can we go back to our code? And I think I remember what step we missed.
Okay. Back to our code. Back to
That was
this
really
code.
weird. I had both of my microphones on and it threw me off. If we go scroll down to scroll down.
Scrolling down.
All right, so you see where we get the attached video for all participants. We need to do one more thing. We need to create an event for when a new participant joins the room.
Okay.
So if you go let's go above the room.participants.for each.
Okay.
And we're going to say room.on participant room.on. And then the event, if you open the brackets, is quote participant connected.
So
this is gonna
like that?
no, one word with camel case.
Okay.
Exactly, comma, participant. Put the arrow, open a and then all of what we coded underneath, stick it inside so that it actually runs when a new participant connects to the room.
Okay. That makes sense, because otherwise it's only going to run when you initially load the page. But here So why doesn't it like...
And
so
if
do I need
you
to
get rid of
this?
that room, where we've got...
Like that?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Participant tracks.
Now, do we need like an initial run here to get anybody who's already on when I join?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. So we need to do it twice. We need to have one for whenever someone connects to the room, and we need to have one that grabs everyone who's already connected to the room.
All right, so let's do it this way. I'm going to do an add participant helper function.
Cool.
And then what we can do here is we will say add, we'll just call that. So add participant. All right, and then down here, we can do the same thing. So for each participant, add participant.
Cool.
And
you're going to need to
that'll just work, right?
So one should be...
I broke all sorts of things. Here?
Yeah. Yep. And then the other one should be separate room.participants.for each. Although I would say put the first one above. Actually, it shouldn't matter
because one's an event listener. I did break something though. I need more. Is that right? There we go. What's this?
Participant.tracks.
Room. Is this all correct? We're good? All right. Prettier did its auto format, which I think means that it's good.
Events. And do you want to stick a console.log participant connected whenever someone connects? Just so we can see in the console.log new people are connected.
Good.
Or put it on the add participant right underneath add participant. And then what you should be able to do is you say participant connected and then put in participant.identity.
Participant. That is hard to spell. Identity. All right. So we've got a new participant identity, and then we're going to add that person. So let's
Cool.
commit that. Actually add participants. And let's push it. Okay. And so what this should mean is that we're going to watch the deploy on Netlify. This should hopefully only take us a minute or two. Okay, here's our Gatsby build. Let's do it nice and fast. All right. And so this now, come on. You're so close. Okay, so it built
trying
properly.
to do a drum roll.
That's
I'm
a
not
good.
sure if you can help me.
It's going really well. All right, so now I'm going in. Again, the room doesn't matter. I'm just putting in test, all lowercase. There's my video, and now new participants, but the videos are not showing up.
Videos are not. Ooh.
I wonder why.
Interesting. Debug time.
Yeah, okay, so, boy, everybody's coming in. This is going to be great.
Everyone's got their cool video as well.
When we get this thing running, it's going to be so good because it's just going to go full chaos mode. So our participant comes in, and we're getting the participant identity. Should I just log like that or something?
Do me a favor and uncomment the if publication is subscribed.
So just like, even if they're not subscribed, we're going to...
Let's see what happens.
All right. Yeah, we'll just use the same message. That's fine. Display grid on the videos would probably help a lot. Yeah. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to deploy, let's do it. I'm going to add this one here. Let's do... How would that work? Go like display grid and then grid column. Oh no. Template columns. And we want it to be like 1FR. And then for videos, we can do like max width 300 pixels.
That looks beautiful already.
That should help at least. And then
when you refresh the page, is this gonna like stick around?
No, this is not gonna stick around. But I think what I can do is just throw it in real quick. Let's go. Yeah, 200 is fine. We want small videos for now. So I'm going to put that in. So one thing I noticed, there's no audio on this. Does grid auto column work? I've never used grid auto column. Auto columns.
Did you say there's no audio?
Just like true auto.
Oh, auto. Okay. This is where sometimes like I don't understand American accents.
Oh.
I thought you said audio. I was like,
well, I did say audio because I'm streaming here, but this isn't actually playing any audio. I don't think.
It's not playing any audio because no one's else is.
Because that's my local video, and Twilio is smart enough to know that if I played my local, okay, all right, that makes many senses. 1FR, 100 pixels. I don't know what any of this does. I'm just gonna leave it at auto, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so that should have deployed. Let's get back and look. This one, or did you just die? What happened? Oh, you're live. Okay. So then, if we reload, refresh, we're looking for people to join. Something broke.
Cannot read property attach of null.
Yeah, didn't like that.
Did that that's what that is subscribed thing is supposed to catch, where.
Okay, so I feel like we're so close to being done. I don't want to
Oh,
give up.
Can we add one more thing?
Yes.
So if you do that, uncomment if publication is subscribed.
Uncomment.
So,
okay.
Yeah, uncomment that. And then underneath, so underneath the end, one line down.
Here?
One line down again. So outside of the for each.
Okay.
Let's go participant.on bracket track subscribed. So,
here? For track subscribed?
Yeah, so because there may be a little delay, like asynchronously between them connecting and them subscribing to a track. So we need to handle if their video starts a second later. And the reason why that is because you will connect, but until you've allowed Google Chrome to use your camera, your track isn't subscribed. Okay. And what do you want to do? Add participant.
Is that right? Like just kind of trigger the whole thing? No.
We don't. We just want to know just the remote video ref.current.append child. We just need that one line.
Is it coming
line 27?
So, right. But where is this track coming from? Is it coming from in here?
It's going to come in on the... So when we go track subscribed, you are going to get a track. If you put track, arrow, and then that line.
Got it. Okay. All right.
Do you want to try this? Yeah.
Let's do track subscribed. I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of doing some logging to figure out where things are. Remote video ref.
I'm going to do a log just on top of that remote video ref.
Did I do it again? Remote vid ref. Okay. Console.
Do you want to put a console.log as it?
Attached to remote video. All right, Let's try it. Let's see what happens. And we're just going to go with bad commit messages.
Oh,
the feedback screech shouldn't happen.
Message that you've ever written. I feel like my one is like, I'm so dumb. Like that's oftentimes my go-to commit.
A lot of times I feel like my commit message is, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Okay, so we're building and that's going to run. Oh, you know what I forgot to do was actually move over this stuff. So for the sake of just making this as painless as possible, I'm going to do bad things. Let's go with video container. That's, whoops, oh boy. Display grid auto columns. And that was auto. And then we had video, and that was max width 100, 200 pixels, I think. And then in here, I can just include that so that we get some styles. Index.css. Now that's not going to be deployed here because I don't want to re-kick this off. But if we deploy again, that should work.
Yes! Someone else is in the room. Yep.
All right.
Hello, person with the green background.
What up, Chris? Oh, here we go. Here's the echo. Let me.
Here's the echo. Let me. Here's the.
All right. So is that better? Permanent echo. Forever echo.
Is that better? Permanent echo. We don't have the screen open.
Oh God. How do we do?
I think it's also because everybody's speakers are on.
That's a fact.
I'm not sure why that. It's probably like collective effort to.
My headphones.
Look at this. All right, so we're doing video. No, that's not what I want at all. Okay, so I mean, I feel like this is good though. We got Max width to 100 pixels. So now we've got like little ones. And look at everybody on the screen. Hello, everyone. I appreciate y'all coming in, joining. This is super fun. It looks like we have a couple things that we didn't do, like we're not handling removing videos when people disconnect. It looks like there's a couple other issues, but like honestly, given that we've done all of this, including screwing things up, including me not knowing how most of the APIs worked, I'm feeling pretty solid about this. So I'm going to shut this down just to make sure that it doesn't have a whole bunch of background noise. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining in there. That's super fun. And Nathaniel, I think that's as good a place as any is to say we did it.
Yes.
Awesome.
We had people. It was nice to be in the same room as all of you. It was really nice.
Yeah, that was super fun. I really
buckets. Did that just work?
Whew. All right. So we went a little over our normal time, but I'm gonna chalk this one up as a huge win because we did something that I think was very ambitious, and we managed to get it actually breathing and deployed inside of 2 hours, or slightly over 2 hours. Nathaniel, if people want to find you online, where should they go?
Chatterbox Coder. I talk too much and I code. Perfect.
All right. So Chatterbox Coder on Twitter. Go give him a follow. And all right. So we'll post up some links. I found out I have to keep the Twitch videos on Twitch for 24 hours before posting them somewhere else. So this will go live on YouTube tomorrow. And please stay tuned for a whole lot of great content. We've got so much good stuff coming up. We did today was super fun. I think we've got design systems in MDX. This is with Kathleen McMahon. She's from O'Reilly Media. We've got Swizik Teller coming on to teach us data visualization. We're going to try to do some server-side rendering friendly data viz. We've got Khalid Garbaya. In the future, we've got Ken Wheeler. We've got Sarah Drasner. We've got Tatiana Mack. We've got everybody coming on the show. So please hit that follow button. Subscribe if you want. You get some special animojis or not animojis, but whatever the hell they are. All right. With that, I think we're good. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
See ya.